telling that we should. Arjuna is telling that we should give up all these things. Renunciation. Renunciation is jnana. We should not try to enjoy. We should renounce. We should not accept that which is tainted by blood. So this is jnana. And Arjuna says that I want peace of mind. I want to get away with this confusion. So this is yoga, because the purpose of yoga is shanti, Laptopa shanti. You studied in second canto, Laptopa shanti. Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nanyatedikam. So Krishna explains in 6th chapter that having attained this, a person thinks there is nothing more to attain. Laptopa shanti. So this becomes the basis of actually Krishna speaking different topics. Okay. So what is Bhagavad Gita? So in 2.40 or 41, Krishna speaks a very important verse. He says, no, the verse after that, I think 41. He says, Vaisayatmika buddhi ekehe purnandana bahushaka hi anantascha buddhayo avyasayanam. Okay, so we will say bahushaka buddhi. To vyavasaryanika buddhi. Okay. So this is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is simply a journey from Bahushaka Buddhi to Vaisayatmika Buddhi. Okay. This is what Bhagavad Gita is. From many branched intelligence to single aimed intelligence. Many branched intelligence is material. Intelligence with single aim is spiritual. It's clear? Krishna explains this. He says that, what is that? Kamatmana spargapara, janma karma phala pradam, kriya avishesha bahulam, bhogaiswarya gatim prati. He says that these people, they are simply interested in raising themselves to heavenly planets, and then they are doing so many activities because of that, and they become attracted by so many grand activities, kriya vishesha bahulam. So many grand activities, they get attracted by it. And what is their concentration? Bhoga Aishwarya Gatim Prati. That they are simply looking for bhoga and Aishwarya, enjoyment and opulence. This is what they are looking for. And then he says, Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Apahata Chetasam Vaisayatmika Buddhir Samadhona Vidiyate. That if you are simply concentrating on bhoga and Aishwarya, you will never be able to achieve this buddhi, Vaisayatmika buddhi. Vaisayatmika buddhi is called in Bhagavad Gita by many names. It's called Achala buddhi, it's called Sthita prajna, it's called Gunatita, it's called Ananyas chinta. Everything is just this Vaisayatmika buddhi. Krishna calls this by many names. But ultimately this is all Vaisayatmika buddhi only. Okay? So Bhagavad Gita is going from here to here. Traditionally in Vedic system, how to move from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness. So this is the journey. Move from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness. So the way to move from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness is given as 3 systems. Karma, Jnana, Yoga.
The same thing,
Bhakti.
Bhakti.
Okay. So these are the different ways which the Vedic system recommends, that you can move from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness through the path of karma, through the path of jnana, through the path of yoga, and through the path of bhakti. Is clear? Okay. So anyone who speaks about higher consciousness always speaks about them, karma, jnana, yoga, and bhakti. Okay. So Arjuna also spoke about them. He spoke about the sense of duty. He spoke about renunciation due to knowledge, and he also spoke about the need for feeling peaceful and happy. So that we already saw that how those arguments came. Okay. So now Krishna is taking up each of these things and he is analyzing. Karma. Okay. It leads to jnana. It leads to yoga. That leads to bhakti. Traditionally we call this as yoga ladder. Or Prabhupada calls these yoga systems can be compared to a ladder, like Prabhupada writes in the 6th chapter in one purport. Prabhupada writes that this yoga system can be compared to a ladder, that one actually goes from one step to other. When Krishna tries to explain these things, Krishna explains these things by saying, okay, what Krishna wants Arjuna to do? What Krishna wants Arjuna to do?
Follow his orders.
Right.
To go to this.
Bhakti.
Okay.
Promoted bhakti.
But Arjuna is talking about this, he's talking about this, he's talking about this. Okay? Now, Krishna is telling Arjuna, okay, you want to do your duty, my dear. If you want to do your duty perfectly, you should simply engage in bhakti. Okay? He says, Yagyartat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Before starting his explanation on karma yoga, Krishna told Arjuna very, very clearly, Mr. Arjuna, you want to do karma yoga, you want to do your duty, that means you should do bhakti. Yagyartat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Very clearly he said that perfection of karma yoga is bhakti. Is clear? And later he explained the technique of karma yoga. So this is what Krishna does throughout these chapters. He explains what is the perfection, then he explains what is the technique. Okay? So then what Prabhupada does is that he explains the technique in terms of bhakti, because that's what Krishna is saying. It's clear? Sometimes some people say that, oh, Krishna is talking about karma and Prabhupada is talking about bhakti. It's not true. Krishna himself spoke about bhakti. And then he explained the technique. The technique can be seen in relation to this definition, or the technique can be seen without relation to this definition. Prabhupada, he wants to simplify things for us. So therefore, he simply sees the techniques in relation to this definition. Therefore, Prabhupada actually explains the entire karma yoga as bhakti. And it is not wrong, because that's what Krishna wants. Therefore, Prabhupada called his Bhagavad Gita as Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's not that, Prabhupada is speaking something and Krishna is speaking something. It's not like that. Prabhupada understands Krishna's heart, and Prabhupada explains everything in terms of what Krishna wants. Okay? But the technique also can be seen as a technique without connection to bhakti. Okay? So, when you see it as a technique without connection to bhakti, then you simply understand karma yoga. What is so? And below this yoga ladder is material consciousness. And material consciousness means what?
Karma kanda.
Karma kanda. Material consciousness is understood by two things.
Aham mameti.
Aham and mameti. I and mine. Material consciousness is understood by two things. Aham and mameti. I and mine. Okay? So when you actually raise yourself to spiritual consciousness at the first level, the first thing you give up is mind. You give up mameti. This is Karma Yoga. You give up mameti. In material consciousness, as he said in Karma Kanda, there is a strong sense of aham and mameti. Okay? I am this body and I want these things for my enjoyment. I will go to Swarga for my enjoyment. I will get better Janma, better Aishwarya, better Shuta, better Sri for my enjoyment. Janma, Aishwarya, Shuta, Sri. I'll get for my enjoyment. So I and mine is very much pronounced here. And the entire effort of Karma Kanda is to just get how better I, me and mine. Is this clear? So then what happens to this guy who is practicing Karma Kanda? It happens to millions of lifetimes of Brahma, but we are just going to see it like a fast forward. Okay, what happens to this guy? This guy is trying to do pious activity and he is trying to enjoy. Okay? So, by following Krishna's path, he gets Krishna's mercy. Because Vedas is actually Krishna's path. So, he is following the Vedic injunction. He is following Krishna's path. So, he gets Krishna's mercy. Krishna becomes pleased with him. Not in the sense of become pleased with the pure devotee, but Krishna is pleased. He is at least an obedient child. He is not a disobedient child. So he gets Krishna's mercy. This is number one. Okay. Number two, as part of Karma Kanda, he also worships Vishnu. And when you worship Vishnu as part of Karma Kanda, that becomes his Ajnata Sukriti. His unknowingly performed devotional service. Because
this is the mercy he can expect, Ajnata Sukriti.
yeah.
Because he will never have devotional piety like this.
Huh?
He will not buy Karma Kanda, he will not get the devotional piety.
Yeah. So he will get Ajnata Sukriti. Then, because he is pious, he is also coming across Brahmanas who are actually know the essence of Vedas, and he hears from them. Sometimes Narayana is supreme. Sometimes he hears from them.
Once more, since he comes across Brahman.
He comes across Brahmanas who are actually well versed with Vedas, and sometimes he hears from them that Narayana is supreme. Okay, this is all the good part. Then there is also another part of his experience. What is that part of his experience? His part of his experience is that he is promised happiness, but he finds that his promised happiness is also causing him misery. He is promised happiness, he is expecting happiness, but he finds that whatever efforts he does to get that happiness by pleasing the demigods, there is also misery he is getting. He is not only getting happiness, he is getting misery. Okay, is clear? Then he is asking that actually I want happiness, but I am also getting misery. Okay, so he is asking the Brahmana that is there any way that I can get only happiness but I will not get misery? He is asking when he realizes that when I want happiness, I am also getting misery. When he realizes that, he asks this question, that can I just avoid this misery? Can I get happiness alone? Then the Brahmana tells him, you see, you are attached to results of your work. That attachment of results to your work is causing misery. Because the results of your work is not up to you. It is up to higher powers. It's up to higher powers. Even though you are thinking that as per Vedic injunction, if I invest this, I will get this much. You are thinking, but you are not getting it every time, because it's not only up to you, it is also up to higher powers. So as long as you are attached to result, you will always feel the misery, because the result is temporary, and also it will not be to the same proportion you expect. So when he hears that, he comes out of from the ground and he gets onto the first step of yoga ladder, which is karma yoga, where he tries to give up this attachment to results. Is this clear? How he goes from karma kanda to karma yoga?
Can you repeat?
So, I told three things. One is that there are positive things. What are the positive things? He is following the Vedic instruction, so Krishna is pleased with him.
Yes.
Second is that
Association.
he actually gets agyata sukriti, because sometimes as part of karma kanda, he does some devotional activity. So he gets agyata sukriti. Third is that he gets association of brahmanas, and sometimes he hear that
Narayana is the supreme.
Narayana is the supreme. Okay, that is one part. The second part is that he is also seeing that he wants a certain amount of result by doing a certain amount of pious activity, but not always he is getting that result. Is number one. And number two, even if he gets it, he is not able to retain it. So therefore he is experiencing misery. Okay? So then he is asking the Brahmana that I am experiencing misery. How can I get rid of this misery? The Brahmana tells him, you see, you are attached to the result of what you are doing. If you give up that attachment to result, and if you simply act for the sense of duty, then you will not be miserable. So, from the sense of doing things for getting result, he goes into the first step of the yoga ladder, which is karma yoga. There he gives up mameti. Is clear?
The Brahmanas, they are not karma kanda Brahmanas.
There, he may get some karma kanda brahmana, he may get some self-realized brahmana. So the self-realized brahmana actually gives him the real knowledge.
So technically, what is a karmi? This one?
This one is karmi.
Yes.
So from karmi he has become karma yogi.
Karma Kandis doesn't
They are
worship.
karmi, karma kandi.
They doesn't worship Narayan.
They worship. But they worship for fruitive result.
We will not consider them as devotees even though they offer something.
Yeah. They will not be considered as devotees, they are considered as karma kandis.
It's not-
They are pious people.
In Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says they, Guni Buddha Bhakti, they have more than 50% of material desires, therefore they.
No, see, Gunibhuta Bhakti is a technical term. That's why Prabhupada did get into all these things. Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti, Gunibhuta Bhakti, these are all when you get to here. And somewhere here when you start practicing devotional service. This we are talking about Puritarian Karma Yoga. Okay. When you start mixing devotional service here, then it becomes Gunibhuta Bhakti. Like for example, at this stage, at the stage of karma, you can do Gunibhuta Bhakti. At the stage of jnana, you can do Gunibhuta Bhakti. At the stage of yoga, you can do Gunibhuta Bhakti. These stages you can do Gunibhuta Bhakti, and then you can you can you can you can graduate to Pradhanibhuta Bhakti, and then you can do PDS, pure devotional service.
Generally, we understand that if we are Karma Yogi, then Nishkama Karma Yoga, and then we have to go through Jnana Yoga.
I'm going to explain. Okay. So you understood how Karmi became Karma Yogi. Okay. Now he is not attached to result. Okay. And he is simply doing his prescribed duty, and the guy is happy. Okay. But now he starts thinking. Previously, I was attached to doing my duty because I wanted result. Correct? I was attached to doing my duty because I wanted result. Now I am not attached to my result. Then why the hell I am still doing my duty? You understand? When he asks this question, he understands he is attached to duty because he is still thinking in bodily platform. But he is not his body, he is a spirit soul.
Can you repeat?
When he comes to that understanding, this fellow comes here, which is Jnana Yoga.
Can you repeat?
And then he gives up both Aham and Mameti.
Can you repeat once again?
So here, he was attached to doing duty because he wanted result as a Karma Kandi, right? Now he became Karma Yogi. He is not attached to result, okay? But still he is doing his duty, right? So now he is thinking, previously I was doing my duty because I was attached to result. Now I am not attached to result, so why the hell I should do the duty? What is the purpose of doing this duty? What purpose it is serving? So he understands that I am still attached to this duty because I am stuck with the conception that I am this body. I am still identifying myself within the Varnashrama. That I am a Brahmana, I am Kshatriya, I am Vaishya, I am Shudra, I am Brahmachari, I am Grahastha, I am Vanaprastha, I am Sannyasi. Like that, I am actually identifying myself with the material designations which are meant for the body. So that makes me attached to my duty. But I am actually not this body. I am a spirit soul. So when he starts thinking about that, then he become Jnana Yogi. And then he give up his attachment to Aham and Mameti. Is clear? How this fellow went there?
I remember in one of the purport of Prabhupada, in a second canto, he says that Jnana Yoga is expanding the highness.
Yeah.
So, I think this is it. Do you remember that?
Expanding the I-ness means finding the real I.
No, in the way that they think that they start to become more godly or godlike.
Yeah, they are more godly, they are more godlike, they are Aham Brahmasmi.
Yes. Exactly.
So the idea of material identification goes away. So Aham is there due to material identification. Here Aham means Varnashrama identification. So that goes away in Jnana Yoga.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Now what Krishna does, when Krishna starts Jnana Yoga in 4th chapter, Krishna says that perfection of knowledge is bhakti. He says, Janma karma chametivyam yevam yoveti tatpataha tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti su arjuna vita raga bhaya krodha manmaya mam upasitah bahavo jnana tapasa putamad bhava magataha. Okay. So what he is saying, that perfection of knowledge is simply to understand Janma and Karma of Krishna. And what is the result of this? One will become free of Raga,
Dvesh. Bhaya Krodha.
Bhaya and
Krodha.
Krodha. This is what this guy is trying to become. You understand? This guy is trying to become free of these three things, Raga, Bhaya and Krodha. This guy, this Jnana Yogi, is trying to become free of Raga, Bhaya and Krodha. But he cannot fully become free of Krodha because if he doesn't have bhakti, he will simply try to go and merge in Brahmajyoti. So that is still the anger expressed towards the personality of Godhead. That he doesn't accept God as a person. He wants to simply make him impersonal. He wants to kill him. He doesn't want to give him personality. And he wants to go and merge in Brahmajyoti. So this is a subsidiary destination of Jnana Yoga. Is clear? This Brahmajyoti, going and merging in the Brahmajyoti, is a subsidiary destination of Jnana Yoga. The destination of Karma Yoga is Jnana Yoga only. Jnana Yoga has three destinations. One destination is Brahmajyoti, the other destination is Bhakti, and we'll actually discuss the third destination after you understood these two parts. Is clear how it works?
Could you just mention that again, please, for girls? Right?
Jnana Yoga, three destinations. One is Brahmajyoti.
So, the Jnana Yogi, if he is not having bhakti, he simply understands that I am a spiritual substance, Aham Brahmasmi. And then he is thinking that spirituality is also impersonal. And then he tries to go and merge in that Brahmajyoti. Is clear?
When he is having bhakti of impersonal.
No, when he is not having bhakti. But when he is having bhakti, he will simply become devotee. So from here, he became devotee. From here, he is becoming devotee. The moment he understands that jnana means simply understanding this will naturally make him free of these three things, and then he will simply become devotee. So this is perfection of jnana yoga. Devotion is perfection of jnana.
How the Jnana Yogi becomes devotee? By mixing bhakti progressively?
Yeah, see, all these people will become devotee from their respective position only by association of pure devotee.
That's not
So when he wants to become free from the three qualities you mentioned, then he would come to bhakti, and that's through the.
No. He can actually become free of these three qualifications by speculation also.
Right.
By reading Shastra, by speculation, he can become free of these three things.
Right.
But he will not become completely free of Krodha, because by actually speculative process and by reading Shastra, he will simply get an impersonal understanding which will take him to Brahmajyoti.
Okay.
So that means his Krodha is not completely gone. So from Brahmajyoti he will fall down again. He will come back again from Brahmajyoti. This is what Krishna is saying, Bhagunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabhaha. This is what Krishna is saying. Because he will go there, then he will come back, then he will go there, then he will come back, he will go there, he will come back, till he actually accepts bhakti. Is clear?
Is that the impersonal understanding you gain from the Krodha you said?
Yeah.
That would take him to Brahmajyoti.
Yeah.
And he'll just keep coming.
He'll keep coming back. He'll keep coming back. He'll keep coming back. That's what Krishna says, no? Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabhaha. That he will take many births. Such a Jnani will take many births, and finally he will understand that Vasudeva is everything, and then he will surrender. He says that
birth means the time where I find the devotee.
till he finds a devotee. Till he finds a devotee. Is clear? Now up to this is clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
How Karma Kandi became Karma Yogi and how Karma Yogi became Jnana Yogi. And how perfection of Jnana is Bhakti.